Good morning, students. Today we'll be learning the practical programs. Uh, I think first program, uh, it's a practical programming part. So we have write a program to find the frequency of an element in an array. You can see write program to find the frequency of an element in an array. So what we try to do in this program means, let me define a class. So let me call that function as a frequency, and let us decide what are the member function we need and what are the private members needed to write the programs. So let me start with the program directly. I think the theory so far what we have done is the new syllabus for this academic. So therefore, just read the theory so far what we have done. So if there is a changes, we'll let you know. So let me complete this 2-3 months. Within this month, I want to complete this practical sessions. So C programming, starting from first program to the end of the program, all the programs we'll do one by one. So today first program will take, so we need a class. I think already you know how to define a class. We have to define class keyword. So make sure all in lowercase. So class keyword followed by a class name. Let me take now, I'll use a frequency. Okay, we can take any name, so no problem. Frequency, I have to use the same name everywhere. So frequency is the class name. So now let us decide how many member data required and how many member function we require. So already we know the definition of class. What does class means? Class is a group of data and functions which acts on that data together. So now we have a program. So we have to write a program to find the elements of an array. That is the occurrence, the frequency of an element in an array. So definitely we need integer. So by default, all the members is treated as a private member. So integer, first I want an array. They took m. So let me take the same variable so that you do not get confused. Some maximum 10 number of elements. And then we need the subscript. Of course, we need I, that's to access the elements, and also we need n, which will be the subscript. And also we need additional things. So here we are deciding. So from the question itself, so we need an element. So let me take ELE as the element to be searched, find the frequency occurrence of that element. And also what we need, the output. So we had divided the problem into 3 subtasks: input, processing, output. So what does the input means? We need an array. So therefore we have M array. And we need, whenever we talk about one dimension array, the size of array and subscript like I and n is necessary. Another input is element. So we have declared. So what's the output means? The frequency, the string, that's a message saying the element is present 2 times, or element is present 3 times, or element does not present. So something like that also we can use. So therefore let me take some variable f. That is the frequency, how many times it is present. So next, is there any variable required? Let us see if necessary. This is how the processing method. So we'll do the processing method. How we do not take processing method here for defining, because from this problem statement I should be able to derive these things. From this I can make out. So I need an array, I need the subscript n, and also the subscript, so the size of an array n, sorry. So it is I is the subscript and element EL is the element to be find the occurrence, the presence of element, and f is the output deciding how many times it is present. It will be 0 if it is not present. If the element is present, so it will be 1 means 1 time, 2 means 2 times. So let us we go with the now public. So member function will go. So we'll take public. Then first one will define. So the function all 3 doesn't return anything. So we use a void. The first function is we have to provide inputs. You can use input also, you can use the get data or whatever you can use. So they have to get data. Let me take get data. This is to provide input. So the program accept the data. And what is another function we need is the how to finding the frequency. That is we use find we'll write like this. So this also simple one. So we need 3 functions. So one for get data, other is finding the frequency. Use a single word because the identifier should be a single word without blank space. So next one. So all 3 function does not return anything. So it's a output or display. so display the message. So all these three functions we'll use. Let us take one by one. So after this, so we have to end the definition of class. So this is how we do end the class. So now we have to take this, get data and then frequency, then display. We'll start one by one. So first we are defining outside the class, return type specifier, void, nothing is written, and then class name, that's the class name is frequency, so I have to type frequency followed by scope resolution operator followed by function name, get data and followed by the argument list with declaration. There is no argument, so hence we write. So inside the function, what are the things we do means we provide the size of an array, elements of an array and element to be searched. We'll enter one by one. The first one we use cout. So we use the first enter. So enter the size of array, how many elements are there. Enter n, or you can say enter size of array. Can use any AR or AY, so whatever you want you can use, it's not a problem. So but your keyword should be in lowercase n line. So next is we use the input cin, what we are inputs, so n. Where is n? So this is a private member function, private data, private member, and this also member function of the same class. Hence this function has a right to access the private members. That's the basics of class. I think you will be knowing those things. The member function of the same class can access the private members. So this MINELEF for private members. Hence these members can be accessed only member function of that class. What are the member function means? Get data, find frequency and display can all have a right to access all the data members. That's okay. So next one we use elements of an array. So cout we can use, so elements of or elements of AY. So elements of array, can use any descriptive name, so n line. So next is we have to use a for loop because array is it uses more than one element, so we use for. Again can use I same I, or also you can define otherwise. I is same, so I equals 0 and I is less than n. N is also private member, so I plus plus. So here what we do, we input. So see what here input means m of I. That's those number of elements will be in. It's like creating an array. So 0 first element, 1 second element, 2 3 like that it goes on. I think no need to explain, already when we did this program I have explained arrays data structure. Very simple one, no problem. I don't feel difficult. I have to input one by one element. Okay, that is till n. If it is give 5 elements, we'll see how at the end of this programs will execute and you'll understand. So now after inputting the elements, so one more is the element to be searched. So let us give cout, next ELE element to be searched. So element to be searched, SEARCHD, okay. Sometimes spellings, okay, end line. So next, so scene, that's also private member, you can access ELE. So this is what get data. So these things has to be provided. So all what is necessary to do programs we supplied. That is array we input, and also we need element to be searched. So that's what we do. Next is we go for find frequency, second one. So processing method, how to find the frequency. Again, class name, return type specifier. What is the return type specifier? Void, second function, and class name frequency followed by scope resolution operator followed by the function name. What is the function? I took find freq. So find frequency, okay. Then function, it doesn't take any arguments. So let me write now. So start big. So how we'll do, what we do in this, we'll understand now, okay. So processing method. So let me take, so that let me go up like this so that it will be clear. So now to find the frequency, what we have to do means, let us assume right now, already I have told, so f we already declared there, so make presently this assume the element not present. And whenever element is found, then we increase f by 1. So we use a linear search, which is very simple. So we use for, start from first element, it is I equals 0 and I is less than n, 1 by 1 till the last element I plus plus. This is a linear search algorithm. So here what we do, whenever it's a match is found, we increase f. How do you say the element is found? So if mathematically we have to write ELE is equal to double, we have to use assignment of, it's a relational operator, that is compared with m of I. So if the element you are looking for and the element of an array are same, means that indicates we have found the element, that is it matches. So therefore f is increased, that is present one time, and repeat this. So this pair of flower bracket is not needed, and you make it clear, so I use only this is repeated at the end. So f will be updated and depending on the number of elements. So f, how many times it is found, so that f will be sometimes 2, sometimes 3, sometimes 0 also. So that is how this frequency will be counting. That's a processing method. So we'll start from first I is equal to 0. So I miss 0 here. So I is start from 0 first element, I is less than n. So if whenever the element you're looking for, an element of an array is same, we increase f. Initially we assume there is no element. So whenever we match, so increase. So depending on f now, we decide how many times it is present. It is maybe sometimes 0, it is not present, otherwise it is present those number of times. So next is, that's the same task we are doing, displaying. So let me use the same void return type specifier, class name, frequency, okay, scope resolution operator, followed by the function name, I think it took display, okay. So simple program, let me go like this so that it will be much clearer. So here we trying to display the element present or not. How do you decide the element is present or not? But it is depending on the frequency f. So if f is greater than 0, yes, it may be 1 or it may be 2, but not equal to 0, but should be greater than 0. Then we display see out element is found. Element, the frequency is, we can write frequency. The frequency is, you can write the frequency is how many times it is present, that f. You can write, can use end line. So those, that is it, 3 means frequency is 3, frequency is 5, anything that you can write. So else means it is not greater than 0, means it will be 0 only 2 possibilities, maybe greater than 0 like 3, 5, 1 something, otherwise it will be remain 0. You can see there it will be either 0 or it will be some I, some number of times I repeated, so maximum up to it is through 3 times, 5 times depending on the maximum. So that is, if it is not greater than 0 means it is obviously it will be equal to 0, then it indicates the frequency is 0. You can write, or else you can write element does not present, anything you can write. So I'll use frequency is 0, or frequency is through something, or let me write ELE, let me, okay, ELE, element, ELEMENT, okay, element is not present. Can use any message, convenient, okay, end line. So that's what we do in display. So this is all the functions we define. So we had 3 functions, find frequency, get data, and display. So all these 3 is done. Then it comes to the main program. The class part is over. So we'll come to the main program. So we start our program, void. Program will not return anything. So therefore we use void main. And then we use, so let me define the object. So this is the main function. Let me define our object. So what's our object? It's a class instance of class. What's the class? Frequency. I think we have frequency class name. Let me write frequency. Let me define capital F, so that F should not confuse. So F is an object, or you can use OB also, no problem. So let us we call three functions. First one capital, we have to use so F dot get, okay, so we'll use lowercase f, use capital F dot get data. Your invoking function get data, first member function, it creates an array. Second one, f dot find frequency, call the second function, it will find. So f value is updated, then display, f dot display. So this function, all of this doesn't take anything, so that's only this is the main program. Okay, let us recompile, we'll compile, so we'll see is there any error. Oh, there is no error, very good. Let us re-execute, Control F9. So let me give some size of an array, some 5 elements. So enter 5 different elements, randomly 4, 6, 8, 2, 10, something like this. Okay, let me take something repeated. I'll take 4 twice. So element to be searched is, I'll give 4. So it present 2 times. So to see the output, we have to go for Alt F5. So we got frequencies 2. Okay. So this is how the output you can see, and also we'll see element is not present. So that also you can use here clear screen so that every time it will be clear. So CLR, SSCR. Okay, and also you can use display function. You can use a get also, so that it will be output on a waiting for any key to press get ch function. Get. So it's no error, so it's up to date. So now see the difference. So size of an array again, we'll go for 4 elements. So 2, 4, 6, 5, 6 something. Enter element to be searched. So does not exist. Element is not present. Okay. So I did both options when element is present and element is absent. Okay. So this is the first practical program. So if you have a system at home, so practice these programs. Okay. Next class we'll take one more program. I think this is a simple program, so I don't want any explanation. Very simple way to create an array whenever it is called, you can see here. So whenever you call like number of elements, so 5. So I use m of 0, 4, m of 1 will be 6, m of 2 will be 8, m of 3 will be 2, m of 4 will be 4. So n is 4 is less than 5, false we quit. Next is cout, enter element to be searched, cin ele. So ele becomes 4. Then we processing that start from 0 to linear search, and f is updated to 2. First 0, 4 as in 2 times, and then that's very simple. Okay. So if you have any doubts, let me know. Okay. So we'll continue this in the next class. Next program we'll take. Okay. Then I wanted to see how this practical program, maybe you give some feedback if it's understandable, or let me see how it, I think it's very simple. As you do, I'm doing. So if you just follow this, you write the same thing in the practical record also, it's enough. Same thing, the same program, because it's working, everything is correct. Okay. We'll continue in the next class.